Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Alison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Welcome back, peeps.
Hi, peeps.
Welcome back to the podcast. If you're new to us, by the way, we welcome you too, and we encourage you to go back and check for episodes that might interest you.
Yeah. There's many, many, many good ones.
There's like
300 something good ones.
Hundreds of episodes.
Yeah.
So please go back. We never thought we would have this many topics to talk about, but apparently it never runs out.
No, it never runs out. And we never stop talking.
Especially thanks to our preschool peeps, because many of you have suggested episodes and we really appreciate it.
We love that.
Yes, we certainly do. So you can go to howpreschoolteachersdoit.com and send us a contact form with suggestions. Mm-hmm. And you can go to Facebook and find our Facebook page, How Preschool Teachers Do It podcast, and send us a message. Just know that we have more than 300 episodes, so sometimes things are suggested and we've done that already.
Yes.
Though I would suspect that if we took the time to go back, there are things we could revisit because early education and raising children changes and updates all the time.
That is very true.
Maybe we'll do that someday.
We should do that.
But not today.
No.
Today we're here to talk about something else. But first, we have to shout some places.
We are shouting out some places today. We are shouting out all the peeps from Vietnam. So hi, everybody.
I'm so, people are listening and watching in Vietnam is
Love that. Is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, I love the cross-cultural interest in young children.
Yes,
totally love that. And I love that people are finding us in places that are so far away. Where in the United States are you shouting out, Allison?
Orlando, Florida.
A place many of us have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Mickey Mouse.
Hello, Mickey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orlando, Florida. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
So as I said, we're not rehashing the past today. We're actually going to share something that we learned recently because we thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
We often talk about our classrooms and whatever sort of early childhood program you're in, whether it's a classroom, family, childcare, whatever sort of program you're in, we often talk about the fact that we have to make it a safe space for children. And that's very true.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It has to be safe. It has to be physically safe. So we have the tiny little chairs and the tiny little tables and all that stuff. But it also has to be emotionally safe so that children know that they can take reasonable risks.
Right.
Now, we came across something that phrased this a little differently. Yeah. And so we want to offer some ideas to you around that. Okay. It basically said, correct me if I'm wrong, but it basically said, instead of thinking of our classrooms and our early childhood settings, wherever you are, as only safe spaces, that we need to reframe that and call them brave spaces.
And I love this so much. Okay. I actually love it on so many different levels. But one of the levels I think is, bravery, and I could be wrong about this, this just might be me in my head, is easier to understand sometimes than safe in the terms that we're talking about it. Like when I tell the children's safe place, like this is a safe place, I think they immediately go to safety, which it is. But I don't think they're thinking the emotional safe place.
Well, even think about with adults.
Yeah.
Right? I've had adults say something about this is a safe place.
Yeah.
What would the difference be if I said to an adult, this is a brave place?
This is a brave place.
Excuse me. I'm going to take a sip of water.
I also feel like it takes it from, this is a safe place, which I don't know if I have anything to do with that being a safe place if I'm in it, like as a kid. But if it's a brave place, now I do, right? Where it puts it on me, but like, oh wait, I can contribute to this being a brave place.
And doesn't the phrase brave place mean we're going to take reasonable risks?
Yes.
We're going to ask our questions. We're going to try new things. This is a brave space.
Yeah.
I think especially for young children, they can relate to that because of how they relate to things like superheroes and prince and princess and right. This is a brave space.
Yeah.
I think that they relate to the word bravery
Yeah.
on some level.
Yes.
And that they relate it to being a hero.
Yeah.
whether it's superheroes or first responders,
Right.
right? They relate bravery to hero. And wouldn't it be nice if every child felt like a hero?
Yeah.
Also, think about conversations with families to say to families, we ensure that your children have both a safe and brave space
And
to
brave
be and learn
space.
in,
Yeah.
right? A safe and brave
Love
space
that.
to learn in. I
Yeah.
just love
I
that.
love it. Yeah.
I've been doing a weight loss sort of program. And by the way, folks, for anyone who's going, no, it's very healthy. It's you just count your calories. You can pretty much eat whatever you want. You just count your calories. So you have to stay within a certain calorie limit. And I walk a solid hour every single day. I've been doing this for weeks. And every week I lose weight, which is amazing. But it's really not amazing. It's math, because if you're at a calorie deficit, you're losing weight.
You're going to lose weight, yeah.
And especially if you're burning fat while you're walking. So at any rate, I bring that up because of what they say about bravery. I want you all to think about this within the frame of early childhood. They tell us that doing this, that taking on this walk every day, that weighing and measuring all your food, that is a very brave thing to do, but it's not an easy thing to do because people are very afraid. And they point out that in order to be brave, there has to be some fear, or you're not acting in a brave way.
Right.
You have, in order to have done something courageous or brave,
Right.
you had to have had some fear.
Right.
For children in a classroom, it can be fear of it not working, fear of failure,
Yeah.
fear of what the other children are going to do or say,
Yep.
fear of how the adults are going to react. There's
Yep.
still, even though they're very young, there's fear embedded.
There's fear. Yes.
Right? When we say try something new, there's fear.
Fear.
And it can be as simple as try this new food.
Yes.
Think about when
Yes.
someone has asked you to try food you've never tried. You don't try it because you're afraid. You're afraid you're not going to like it. You're afraid what it's going to taste
Right,
like. You're
right.
afraid, maybe you're afraid you are going to like it,
Yeah,
in my case.
yeah.
So there's always a fear behind having to try something and be
Yes.
brave. In our early childhood settings and at home, I hope,
Yeah.
people are offering children opportunities to try and experience new things. To do that, folks, requires bravery.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we need to teach the children how to be brave.
Yeah.
Because, like me, I've been going through some medical things that were very scary. And I was very brave, and I did all the treatments and everything I was supposed to do. And I don't think I would have been able to do that if I didn't have some sort of bravery already instilled in me to try new things, because it can be very scary. And life, my friends, is scary. Okay, stuff is going to happen and you're going to have to overcome. So, like, we should be teaching these children that being brave is a good thing. That's not just for the police officers and the superheroes. Like, you are being brave on a daily basis. There are regular, ordinary folks that are being brave on a daily basis. And so can you.
Listen, just being alive takes some bravery. Getting up
Yeah.
every morning
Yeah.
and going about our lives
Yeah.
takes some bravery.
Yeah.
And there is always fear.
Yes.
You know, there
Yeah.
is always. I read this very interesting thing about the decisions we make, and that if you peel it away, all the decisions we make are based on fear. We're either avoiding something we're afraid of,
Right. Yeah.
or being inspired by something we're
Okay.
afraid of. But it always, according
Comes
to this
back to the fear.
article, it comes back to fear. This was,
Interesting.
maybe it was put out by the psychologist, I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
Yeah.
But it was a research-based thing, and it was talking about how everything we do, every action we take, everything goes back to fear, because your brain is always trying to protect you.
Yeah.
It's like self-protective nature.
Right.
If we want children to step out of that, I'm afraid this isn't going to work, I'm afraid what the other people are going to do,
Right.
I'm afraid, then we do have to intentionally teach them to be brave. So when we bring them in and we talk about bravery, and you can say to young children something like, who's brave? Who have you seen? What do you think brave is? And I think children will say things like firefighters.
Police
police.
officers, military.
I think they will also say things like
Superheroes.
superheroes. I
Yeah.
think they'll say, I can't even think of one off the top of my head.
Spider-Man. Is a
Spider-Man,
popular
thank you.
one. Yes.
Spider-Man
yes.
is brave. Superman is brave, right?
Batman is brave. Like those kind of things.
Shout out to Batwoman.
Batwoman.
Brave.
In my class, it's Paw Patrol. You know, like,
Yeah.
and those are not even real things, but that's what they're watching and they don't know. You
Yeah,
know?
but
So,
that's
like,
how they relate
that's
to
how
the
they
word,
relate
right?
to it, right?
So,
So yeah.
if we say to them, this classroom is a place where we're all brave. It's a brave space.
Yeah.
And then we turn to them and we say, how can you be brave?
Yeah.
They're going to say things like, I can save somebody. Like,
Right.
And
right.
and then we have to relate it back to real life and say to them, yes. So if I'm walking in the classroom and there's a chair in my way,
Yeah.
and you come over and you push the chair out of my way,
Yeah.
that was a brave
Yeah.
hero thing to do.
Yeah. I think sticking up for somebody else is a brave thing to do, right? Like
Yes.
if you start, like, because in my class, I'm going to switch it now to like this also is like, I have this whole, like, you could be a super friend, and this is how you be a super friend is like you ask people for help, or if you see somebody struggling, you help them and you become the person that helps them. And I think that maybe I could say super friends are brave when they help other people, because not everybody's out there to help you, you know? So for you to say, I'm going to help that person, that's bravery. To stand up and like say, I'm going to do that for them. I'm going to help them out. I'm going to be the one that helps them out. It could be an anti-bullying kind of thing, like what do they call that? The upstandings, the upstanders.
The upstanders.
Those are brave people.
I also think we have to relate it to everyday things, like sometimes, and you can say to some children, sometimes when you do something that's hard, like you go to do a really hard puzzle, you have to be brave to want to try it.
Yeah.
If we give you a toy or something to use that you've never used before, we're brave when we use it for the first time.
Yeah.
So I think if we have those conversations and we say, this is a brave space, we're going to show you many things.
Yeah.
And when you want to try new things, you are being brave like a superhero.
And I think they'll be more willing to try new things.
Yes.
If you have this brave space.
I also keep thinking about the messaging to families.
Yeah.
Because that messaging matters. Mm-hmm. And I also think that when we say to adults, our early childhood program is a very safe space, they think, oh, well, they're, keeping them physically safe.
Yeah,
that's
like
great.
A security. It's a secure. They have good security there.
Right. If we have good security.
We have good security.
We have good security and we do fire drills.
Yes, correct.
So I think if we say to families, we are both a safe and a brave environment for your children. They will be physically safe. We do fire drills. We have all of the right furniture for them. We make sure our materials are appropriate for their age group. It is also a very brave space for your children, where your children can try new things and their efforts will be acknowledged.
Yes.
We're going to praise their efforts. We don't embarrass children. We don't humiliate children. We don't yell at children. We don't send children to timeout.
Right.
We don't do any of that, because this is a brave space where children can try new things without fear of ridicule or punishment.
Right.
And if something goes wrong, we help them correct.
Right. Yeah.
We teach them a different way to do something.
Yeah.
Because learning about how to deal with my emotions and how to be around a social group of people requires guidance, not punishment.
Right.
Right?
Right.
There's so much we can teach families when we say this program is a brave space for children where they can try new things and know that the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to have to try a different way.
Right.
When we send that message to the families, maybe they can start to think of that for home.
Yeah.
Right? My home needs to be both a safe and a brave space for my children, where we are not going to embarrass, humiliate, demean, talk down to, disrespect our children.
Yeah.
Don't you think that can change from what the atmosphere of raising children was for generations?
Yes.
I think it has somewhat changed already. Yes. I think this can add to that. I saw a social media video, I think it may be on Instagram, and it's this woman, she does like these videos of, and they're comedy. They're meant to make us laugh.
Yeah.
It's like how children were raised in the past versus what we say today. So they'll have someone saying to a child, like, they act it out.
Yeah.
Someone saying to a child, like, go to your room, come back out when you're human. And then the other person says to the child, honey, I think we need to sit and talk about your behavior.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what happened and why that's not acceptable. So they sort of put these two approaches that are different, generally speaking, generationally.
Yeah.
They put these two approaches next to each other in these videos, and folks, it is both very funny and daunting at the same time, because you realize, oh my gosh, they were so disrespectful to us.
So disrespectful.
They had no faith in our intelligence, our ability to learn.
Yep.
They had like no faith. All they did was try and stamp out whatever we did.
Yeah.
Right?
They did.
So I think that there have been changes, and they're being put out as comedy even now on social media. But I think we can continue to support this change by saying to families, just like our space is safe and brave, your space needs to be safe and brave.
Yeah.
So I really encourage you folks to take this on. I love it as a campaign.
I like it too.
Right?
Yeah.
I love the idea of, are you providing brave spaces for children? Yeah. And I think it's something that I want to say to classroom staff and family childcare providers who I interact with when they talk about having a good learning environment. And learning environment is something that I teach, both for CDA credential students and college students. I want to pose the question, in addition to all these safe things you're talking about, and this the reading the room sorts of things we're talking about that we set up for young children, are you providing a brave space for them where they can try new things and not be afraid?
Right. Right.
I love this so
like
much.
that.
I hope you all love it too. Preschool peeps, I hope you all love this and grab it, and take it back to your early childhood programs and your homes.
Yeah.
Because I think it's worthwhile.
Yeah, we could spread bravery.
If you can think of anything else like this, please contact us.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Catch you next time.
Bye, peeps.